a very good morning to all of you. My name is Ila Kaushik, working as Assistant Professor in Information Technology Department, Kite Group of Institutions, Ghaziabad. Our subject is Real-Time System. Its subject code is KOE061, and in today's class, we'll be discussing about concurrency control. So the topic for today's class is concurrency control. The content of today's class includes introduction, purpose of concurrency control, need of concurrency control, lock-based protocols, timestamp-based protocols, validation-based protocols, and deadlock. So coming to the introductory part, in computer science, concurrency is a property of systems in which several computations are executing simultaneously and potentially interacting with each other. Also, concurrency control is a process of managing simultaneous operations on the database without having them interference with any other. Also, concurrent access is relatively easy if all users are only reading data, as there is no way that they can interfere with one another. Now, what is the purpose of concurrency control? To enforce isolation through mutual exclusion among conflicting transactions, to preserve database consistency through consistency preserving execution of transaction, to resolve read-write and write-write conflicts. Now, if concurrent execution environment T1 is conflicted with T2 over a data item, say A, then the existing concurrency control decides if T1 or T2 gets the data item A, or if another transaction is rolled back, or it has to wait. So as we all are very much aware that there are three types of conflict: read-write, write-read and write-write. Now, why there is need of concurrency control? Simultaneous execution of transaction over a shared database can create several data integrity and consistency problems like lost update, uncommitted data and inconsistent retrievals. So we are very much aware that there are basic asset properties that are very much important during the transaction. So A is atomicity, C is consistency, I is isolation and D is durability. Now atomicity says that only one transaction is allowed to execute at a time, only one. So it is 1 to 1. Consistency is in the starting and during the end of transaction, the data should be consistent. Isolation means when a transaction is executing, it should not get interrupted by other transactions. And durability is whenever any transaction is executing and in between there is any power failure or any leakage, then it should be able to persist all the changes that persist in the database. Now there are log-based protocols. So what does this mean is, transactions indicate their intentions by requesting logs from the scheduler. So whenever a lock is being made, so it is being accepted or rejected by the lock manager. So locks are either read-write, also called as shared lock, or write lock, that is exclusive lock. So read locks and write lock conflict because read-write operations are incompatible, so we are having read-write conflicts. Now locking works nicely to allow concurrent processing of transaction. Also there are many log-based protocol that we don't need to study in detail, that is part of DBMS, that is two-phase locking protocol in which we have growing and shrinking phase, conservative locking protocol, strict locking protocol and rigorous locking protocol. Now next type of protocol is timestamp based protocol. This is the most commonly used concurrency protocol This protocol uses either system time or logical counter as a timestamp. Log-based protocol manage the order between the conflicting pairs among the transaction at the time of execution. Now, when I say conflicting pairs, I mean between read-write, write-read and write-write. Whereas timestamp based protocols start working as soon as transaction is being created. Every transaction has a timestamp that is associated with it, and the ordering is determined by the age of transaction. Every data item is given the latest read and write timestamp also. This lets the system know when the last read and write operation were performed on the data item. Now the third category is validation based protocol. Now execution of a transaction, say TI, is done in three phases. The very first one is read execution phase, second one is validation phase, and the third one is write phase. Now read phase says that transaction writes only to temporary local variables. Now second phase, that is validation, says that transaction TI performs a validation test to determine if local variables can be written without violating serializability. And the last phase is write phase. It says that if transaction is validated, the updates are applied to the database, otherwise the transaction has to roll back. And the last category is deadlock. Now a transaction is deadlocked if it is blocked and will remain blocked until there is an intervention. So locking based concurrency control algorithm may cause deadlock sometimes. Now timestamp based algorithms that involve waiting may also cause deadlock, and there is a wait for graph. If a transaction TI waits for another transaction, say TJ, to release a lock on an entity, then there is an arrow marked from TI to TJ in wait for graph. So students, in today's class we talked about concurrency control, why there is a need for concurrency control, what are the reasons used for concurrency control, and the different types of protocols that are being used in concurrency control, like first one was log based, then we have timestamp, then third one was validation based protocol, and last one was deadlock. So this was all for today's lecture. Thank you everyone. Have a good day and take care of yourselves.